The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story.
Who's gonna see a white ship on the final beach steering, and it's a vague phantom, and her cold bosom and light gulls wailing?
So good evening. You've come to talk with your boy Twitch, once again. Well, it was an interesting week for the coterie, it seems. I saw Lamar hop over to the cabaret. Now, I'm not sure what Lamar was doing at Jackie's cabaret, but I do know he left in a hurry. Good old Jackie left shortly thereafter, seeming to be a bit angry. I also found out Destiny has been seen, well, with the lady of the night, taking her out for meals, of all things, even negotiating with her pimp to take her, pay for her for these meal extravaganza. Very odd. But given how she was raised, what would you expect? It also seems I saw Miss Eleanor and Roscoe. Well, they were at the steakhouse together. It seems our daughter, Malcav, used one of our powers on a book made of flesh. Now, it's not always a good idea to learn things. As anyone can tell you, sometimes that knowledge is worse than ignorance. Those are some words to live by. And then the oddest events of the evening. First, I saw the coterie packing up all their stuff out of their steakhouse to move it, as if trying to hide the fact that they were based out of that. Then I saw a heroin addict come up to the building and be escorted into the steakhouse at gunpoint by Mr. Lamar Cade. Then a short time later, I saw him exit steakhouse. Though his exit was not of his own volition. He seemed to be being, drunk walked. Though, normally, I think drunk walks have a pulse You know, that reminds me of a second little bit of wisdom from your boy Twitch. If you ever walk into the den of a beast, the most important thing to have is an exit strategy. Again, words to live by from your boy Twitch. See me next week. We'll talk.
And who's gonna see the broken ship on the many black rocks under the shadowed skies and discolored sun is blinking on the balloons gleaming.
Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I'm Merlin Dare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I'll be playing Jacqueline Durond of Clan Ventrue.
I am Lady Marowith, and I'm playing Eleanor Thurston, Clan Malkavian.
I am the Lifesaver, and I am playing Destiny Star Jones, Kaitif.
I'm Miriam, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra.
So, last week, this particular coterie of vampires, well, let's see, they found out one of their members had texted the wrong thing. There was a bit of a heart-to-heart between Jackie and Lamar to how not to, I guess, speak with Destiny and other kindred in the city. There was a touching scene with Eleanor and Roscoe. And by touching, I mean somebody touched the book and you spirits touch on it. Lamar spoke with Tally, who was not happy about One-Eyed K, not even remotely. And then we had a little bit of actions having consequences. Somebody had seen Lamar's little frenzy in the alley that night. Of course, that man was dealt with. I'm sure there's no other consequences to come from that one. And where we're picking up tonight is shortly after, as a matter of fact, that scene we ended on, where Lamar had taken Aaron, or Alfonso, as he liked to be called, to his apartment and staged a murder scene, or a suicide scene. And I'm turning this over to Jackie because she had a phone call she wanted to make to deal with this situation.
It's while I'm in the car leaving the steakhouse. I'm on the phone and I'm calling Sergeant Williams of the precinct that is in the domain.
Sergeant Williams, Chicago Police.
Hi, Sergeant Williams. It's Jacqueline Durond.
Ah, Jacqueline, nice hearing from you. Oh, I didn't get a chance to thank you for the tickets.
Oh, did your wife?
Oh,
did she love it?
yeah, she loved it.
Good.
It was great stuff.
I'm so happy she enjoyed the ballet. And did you have a good anniversary?
Yes. Oh,
fantastic.
You helped me out because if she had known I'd forgotten again, it would have just been bad.
Don't you worry. I will always have you covered on that.
No, I'm glad for that because I don't want to, you know what they say, happy wife, happy life.
Exactly. And you got to take good care of her.
I try, but, work gets busy and then I forget. And
I know. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to make your night just a little bit busier.
Okay, what we got?
My friends and I were out on the street there in Wicker Park, and we got accosted by this guy. I'm going to be real with you. He looked like a junkie, and he was looking for heroin. And honestly, I mean, none of my friends and I, we don't use at all. My brother had issues, and I don't.
Yeah, I remember that night.
Yeah, exactly. I avoid that stuff like it's the plague. But he basically made comments. He thought we might have something or know where he could get it. And of course we didn't. And he was like, well, if I can't find any, I might as well just kill myself. And then he went up into this apartment building. Can you send a squad over to do a wellness check? I'm worried about the guy.
Yeah, that's no problem. That's part of what we do anyway. So, sure, I can do that. You got an address for me?
Yep, and I will give him the address.
And he takes it down. He goes, perfect. Yeah, I'll send one of our guys by and have him take a look because, we can't be having that.
Yeah,
we don't want anybody messing up your wonderful little area there. You know, it's bad for business, too much of that going on. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'll send somebody by, and I'll probably be talking with you next week.
Okay. Something going on?
No, I'm having trouble getting tickets and to, you know, a concert, and if I can't get them this week, I'll
let me know. I'll be able to
you know.
work something.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate it.
Of course.
Uh,
Thank you, Sergeant Williams.
well, you have a good night, Jacqueline.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And the line goes dead. And now, Etienne, of course, takes you back to your haven, and we skip ahead again. It is now Tuesday, because as I recall, Jacqueline said that there was a little bit of a show to do this night. Now, the girls are at this. We're not going to go into the whole show, but I will let Destiny describe what happened because she's immensely familiar with this particular play. She can describe the gist of it for the other players and the viewers, of course. And then we will jump into the scene as you all have left the play.
So it's a 3-act play, with the first act being a comedy almost parodying Socrates' life. The second act is a courtroom scene where Socrates is on trial and there is opposing counsel. At the end of the second act, during the intermission, everybody gets to vote within the audience of whether they want to sentence Socrates to death or not. And spoilers, Socrates is sentenced to death regardless of how the audience votes. But the third act is a monologue by Socrates the night before he dies.
Very interesting. Actually, I've heard that trick before. So I assume Etienne is driving and the ladies are just done their show and are being taken back to their respective vehicles that would be parked not at the steakhouse.
Right.
And I turn this over to the ladies.
That was a brilliant show, Destiny.
It was wonderful.
It was really cool, wasn't it?
It was.
The audience participation was spot on.
Yeah, it's a very engaging performance, including that. It really is. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Does Socrates ever get to live at the end of the play?
No.
Oh. Well, of
Because
course not. That would be revisionist, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe we should write the version where Socrates lived and then see how history was changed. We'll make a whole movie series about it.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
Oh. No, it was a fantastic play. Truly.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun, Destiny. Thank you for choosing it.
Oh, I'm glad that you guys liked it. When Jackie said that she wanted a historical comedy, I was a little daunted, but then we got lucky. That first act is very much so in the way of Aristophanes and his style. So that's where the historical comedy part came. Sorry that the second and third act weren't really comedic.
I still enjoyed it.
Good.
It was a little bit of everything. A little bit of history, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of tragedy.
A little bit of philosophy.
A little bit of philosophy.
We'll have to do this again sometime.
I most
Yes.
certainly will. I did pick up their season schedule to see what else they will be performing there, so we'll see if something else piques our interest.
Ooh.
Awesome.
So, Etienne's driving around. I assume, where did you leave your vehicles, just so we know?
Probably... Would we have left them at Cabaret? They don't even have vehicles.
Destiny still doesn't have a vehicle.
They have Ubers. So did we meet up at the Cabaret to come here?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
So you return, of course, to the cabaret, and I know Jackie's not just going to drop you off in front of the cabaret and wander off.
No.
And as you go into cabaret, of course, once again, Destiny, when you come in, Reese is performing. And as soon as you come in, Jackie, Etienne goes to speak with the various security guards and everything, just check on, make sure everything's been fine while you were out.
Mm-hmm.
Handling the kind of business now. Do you watch shows? Do you go speak in your office, or do you just we in the scenes here? There's the question.
I, tell the ladies that they can enjoy the performances if they wish, or have a reading if they wish on the house. And I will basically handle some things back in my office, and they are free to come and go as they please.
I need Eleanor to roll wits awareness, please.
Absolutely.
Let's see what she got here.
That's a crit.
Let's see what she's got. Let me pull these up. I've got it buried in Windows already. That's always lovely. Wow, 5 with a crit. That should be enough. There is somebody you recognize here in the club. It is, double check the names here, Thea. Thea Noel McCrane.
Would I recognize her as
No.
I've seen her picture?
You can roll wits awareness.
Okay.
That's right. You have seen her picture once. You don't
And
notice
hang
her.
on.
Well, you willpowering that?
Oh,
She
yeah.
has 2. She's going to willpower. Burn the willpower early.
That's 3.
3. Dark club. You don't notice her there, but you will the moment Eleanor points her out.
Okay.
Which I will. Oh, there's Thea's over there.
Oh, the one I showed you the picture of. Oh. Wonder what she's doing here. Interesting.
I don't know.
Who's Thea?
Well, Eleanor seems to know more about her than I do. I just happened to have caught her in passing somewhere.
Storyteller.
Yes. You'll remember it's on your information for Eleanor from at the
Yes.
very beginning of the Chronicle.
I wanted to make sure that I was remembering the name correctly.
It was one of the kindred you knew about in the city
Mhm.
at the Chronicle start.
Well, we had a disagreement some time ago. She wasn't being very nice. But I have no idea what she would be doing here except having a good time, perhaps.
Hmm.
Do you want us to go talk to her?
Eleanor, if you are uncomfortable speaking with her, I will be happy to.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to, how did they say it today? Harsh the vibe?
Okay.
If I went and spoke to her, the last time it wasn't very,
Pleasant.
no,
Yeah.
it was very unpleasant.
Okay. Would you like Etienne to take you home instead?
Well,
Or would you like to go back to my office?
maybe I'll go back to the office and
Sure.
hide out.
Sure.
I don't think
Did you
she's
bring
noticed
Did
me
you
yet.
bring the book?
I did.
You should go back there and read it in privacy.
I will.
Destiny, shall we go greet our guest?
Yes, why don't we?
Okay.
And as you start approaching her, I'm going to share the image for the table, and then I will describe her. And of course, for the viewers out there, it is going to be on the Discord as always,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can see who we're referring to here. Let me open and share this picture for everyone to see. There we go. It is now shared out so everybody can see. Black hair. I mean, short crop black hair. She's wearing actually an evening dress tonight. She is wearing that. There's a little bit of a touch of cruelty in some ways to her eyes. You can just see it. She's not very good at hiding her problems.
problems?
Yeah, of not liking people.
Oh, so what the hell is she doing in a club full of them?
That
Or
would
in
be
a venue full of them?
that could be a thing for you to go with.
You know, I might have to do a wit's insight on ambitions with this one. So.
She's got piercing in her nose and ear. I mean, she's got a number of piercings that she's doing, different jewels in them. I will say that even though she's wearing more of an evening gown style, it is well done, very fashionable, very nicely. This is not off the rack.
No, it appears she has money.
Yes, it is definitely something unique.
Mm-hmm.
But she notices you as you're coming over.
Mm.
She looks right at you.
Mm-hmm. Good evening. Most of my patrons are regulars.
Did she send you to talk to me?
No. This is my establishment.
Does she come here often?
On occasion.
I guess I'll find a new place to go check out.
Suit yourself.
Now, if you're friends with her, I don't like the company.
Well. Nice to see you rush to judgment.
It's not a rush.
Okay.
It's generally bad form to hang out with judgmental people who put their nose in business that wasn't theirs.
Oh.
And since she saw fit to interfere with my fun one night, let's just say we don't like each other now.
Well, do tell me the story. I love hearing both sides.
Let me roll something. I've got to see if she can tell you're kindred or not. Because that's not automatic now, is it? She doesn't know you.
Mm-mm.
It's not a story I'm going to share.
By the way, Jacqueline Durond.
You can call me Thea.
Thea. Well,
That's
it's
enough.
a shame that you won't be patronizing my establishment. It is quite an enjoyable experience.
And who's your friend?
Destiny.
Now, see, I've heard that name. Where did I hear that name? Oh, yes. At a party I was at recently.
There's a lot of people named Destiny.
Yes, but Destiny with Jacqueline. Now, you would be a ratty rose.
I don't like that name.
Well, you can take it up with the one who called you that, not me.
Who was it?
His name's Joseph. Joseph
That's all I'm going
Kerr.
to get. Joseph Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Kerr? Really? Wow. Anyway.
He's quite fascinated with you all. It's rather amusing. But, again, now that I know what you are and who you are, I will not return to your establishment. You can rest assured.
Do have a lovely evening, Thea.
We will. And tell Eleanor I have not forgotten.
Oh, I'm sure she hasn't either.
By the way she scurried, I'm sure not. And Thea actually gets up. She leaves the chip she had bought on the table and strides out.
And I proceed to walk back to the office with, I'm sure, Destiny.
And Etienne, who's been standing at the hallway entrance the whole time, watching very closely about whether he was going to have to come
and intervene.
And you head back to the office, and Etienne's like, ma'am, you want me to make sure a couple of people make sure she
Yes.
doesn't hang around out front?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And see him go over and start talking to one of the other security guards that are unobtrusive, but there. And I turn the scene to the players in Jackie's office.
Okay, Eleanor. What
was
is
it
she
very
and how
bad?
big of a threat is she to you?
Kind of bad? Well, she was accosting one of my people. If you know what I mean.
Mm.
And I wasn't going to stand for that.
Good for you.
And I may have you peopled her just a little bit.
Oh no, what clan is she?
Ministry.
Oh, fucking hell.
And, well, you know, I've never gotten along very well with ministry. I don't know what it is. Really. Wrong place, wrong time. Every single time. Like, even back in the 1890s.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes. Yes. They are impeccable at that. Mhm.
Yes, so
Mhm.
it was quite ugly. And, well, I haven't forgotten, and I'm sure she hasn't either.
She mentioned this person, Joseph Kerr.
Joseph Kerr.
I don't know that person. And not to say everyone goes there, but I've been routinely making appearances at Elysia just to see who comes and goes. And
Perhaps they are outside the tower. Because you know everyone, Jackie.
I don't know everyone.
Well, lots of people.
If I knew everyone, then they'd want to get me involved in politics, and I don't want to do that. So. Okay. Well, she also tends to show up at Blue Velvet.
Oh.
Is she a hedonist?
I would make that guess, but I can't say that I know for certain.
She is going to be problematic, Eleanor. You know this, yes?
Yes. I do, and I don't... As I said, I avoid her as much as possible, but I don't like what I do know. She's one of those kind. Believe in nothing. Think they are owed everything.
Oh. Spoiled little privileged kid.
And a little bit fucked up.
Yeah.
A little bit,
that.
I say, but I actually mean a lot.
A lot. Yes, I know how you like to underestimate things, darling.
Dramatic understatement.
Yes. Okay, well, she says that she won't be back here because you occasionally frequent it. So
Oh,
maybe,
well, good.
Maybe she tries to avoid you as much as you try to avoid her. I personally think she came here for ulterior motives, but...
She came here to have fun with your people, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, she can certainly try. We'll see how that goes for her.
Not well.
Of course not. Of course not.
But yes, I know she will be a problem. I thought perhaps she's someone looking for an easy fix. and therefore would not wish to be more involved in something that doesn't get her what she wants, but perhaps she will eventually change her mind.
Well, we shall have to wait and see what she does next.
Yes. I suppose that's all we can do. Though I am sorry that she brought her miasmic pall upon your lovely cabaret.
It's fine. She's already vacated.
Oh, good. That didn't take long.
No, I'm efficient, Eleanor.
You are very efficient, Jackie.
Yes, she basically insulted Destiny and then basically insulted me, and I made sure she felt very aware that she was unwelcome.
Well, fuck that bitch.
Exactly.
I'm sorry she insulted you, Destiny. That's so rude. It's very like her, but...
I mean, she insulted me the same way that it seems like everybody's going to be insulting me until I leave this place, so...
Even so, it is rude.
True.
And uncouth.
Very
and
true.
shows bad breeding.
It does indeed. Well, shall I arrange for you ladies to get an Uber back home?
It's getting to be that time, isn't it?
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
So you call them an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, because you've called them an Uber, that's pretty easy to get over there. And Uber drivers come and pick up Eleanor. Eleanor, where are you being taken to?
Sorry. I'm going home.
Okay. Destiny?
What time is it?
After your play, it would be, I don't know, probably at this point, probably midnight, because they don't run it, until the wee hours. Still wintertime, gets dark early, so maybe 12:30, roughly, maybe just a little more after midnight.
I'm going to head home. I'm going to have the Uber driver drive by the Tesla dealership's area, though.
Okay. And you go by the Tesla dealership now. For some reason, Sandy's not there tonight. You don't know why, but you also don't see her pimp. So maybe she's not there. From what you've seen so far, she's there some nights, not others. You haven't quite figured out where she is on the off nights, because you get the impression she doesn't actually have off nights.
Yep.
And he's like, this isn't a great part of town. We're driving through here.
I like to look at the Teslas as we drive by. I stare.
If only.
Right?
Can't get on the waiting list.
You can't even get on the waiting list? Oh, man. That sucks. It'd be a perfect car to drive people around in. Could you imagine? You'd be able to do what's the Uber Lux line or whatever that is, where it's all the expensive cars?
I mean, maybe one day with my side hustle, I'll get to that point, but I don't know.
What's your side hustle?
This is my side hustle.
Oh, this is your side hustle. What's your main hustle then?
Well, during the day, I wait tables.
Good for you. I used to wait tables.
I make a little money. It's enough. So what do you need? You want me to take you where now?
Oh, there's and I give directions to the smoke shop.
And he takes you to the smoke shop. Now, on this same night, we're going to flash to another scene. I think the next scene we're going to go to is Mr. Roscoe. Because you are coming back to your bookstore. Now, you've already moved your books there, of course, because that would have happened immediately out of the steakhouse. But you were coming to check in on your bookstore when someone's waiting for you. A very unexpected visitor. But it's one you've met before. Marcel. The friend of the court, as they call it, of the Primogen Council.
Is he in the store or waiting
He's
outside?
out front. He's not stepping inside. He's waiting out front. Appears to be, African-American, early 30s. Tonight he's wearing, it's a dashiki. Definitely dressing, how you'd put it, it's African in nature in a lot of ways. Very nicely done, though. This is not off the rack either. It's well done. Looks like it's handmade. And he's just leaning with his cane in his hand against the wall, waiting on you.
Good evening, Marcel.
Roscoe. Just the one I'm hoping to see. I've been meaning to get back with you, but I've been busy the last few months with
I understand
other things.
But I'm not surprised. Please step into my store, and
Of course.
I'll open the door and hold it for him.
Thank you. And he comes in the store and walks in front of you without a glance back at you. Doesn't appear to be worried at all. Nice place. I haven't been here before. I've heard good things about it, of course, but I haven't been here.
Is there anything particular you're looking for aside from maybe the obvious?
Just the book. Unless you have anything else that you think would be appropriate. Because I'm always interested in anything of, Middle Eastern in general, but specifically anything that might be related to some of the early era pharaohs, even late pharaohs.
Unfortunately, I believe that book is the only antiquity I have that is related to them.
So you've had time, more than enough time, I think, to think about it. Are you interested in selling?
I've had a chance to read through the book and read the stories that I found interesting. I'm ready to part with it, but how may we negotiate?
Well, so you're going to roll for you. What do you want to roll for your half of it? I will let you decide. You got a charisma? You're going to go with manipulation for your persuasion? How do you wish to roll for your bargaining session here?
Oh, we'll go charisma.
Okay, so charisma persuasion. And he's going to roll his resolve. And he will also roll persuasion because he's attempting to persuade it the other way, but he's fighting against yours. We'll see how he does. Because he has a price in mind. Okay.
And let's see, I think I will willpower.
You're going to
that.
willpower. You've got 2 successes. And you're willpowering, so let's see what you hit now. 5 successes. Yep, very nice. You come to an agreement on the price rather quickly. It's the same price you paid for it. He started just barely above it. And you started below it. Or he started below what you paid for it, and you started above it, and you went right down to where you paid for it.
Okay.
It's almost like he knew what the price you paid for it was.
But we both feel that we're getting a good deal out of it.
He does.
Okay. And that I didn't give it into him too easily. So
No, he tied you on the negotiation roll.
Okay.
Both of you had 5 successes. Quite impressive, actually.
Okay. This is agreeable to me. I've had my chance to get out of it what I wanted.
Was there anything interesting?
Well, for me as a Tremere, there is. I found a blood sorcery ritual that I think may be useful to help my coterie.
Interesting. We don't normally do those. I wonder.
But the rest of the book, I was not able to decipher really.
Well, you may not be able to. To be fair, if it came from any of my people, it may be a code anyway. Could all be false hieroglyphs. You don't know.
No, I have no idea. But that one ritual was worth the price. So,
Well, I hope you're not planning to share it everywhere.
of course not. No.
Good. Knowledge like that is more valuable, I think, than you understand.
Oh, I do understand.
Well, I find that great. I'm glad we could work to an arrangement here because I was so worried after so long not coming to see you, you would have gotten rid of it or would have lost it or done something like put it in the Tremere Chantry, but I'm glad you still had it.
I did think about that, but it did. I decided to keep hold of it. So,
Well, I'm glad I'm going to just assume, of course, that you were holding on to it for me because you knew I was interested in it, of course.
Well, that has always been on the back of my mind.
Very nice, very nice. Just, it's a rather remarkable deal. And as he's talking, he's actually touching the book slightly. If you need anything, out of kindness for holding it, you can talk to me at some point.
I would very much appreciate that. There were some things that the book touched on, that were interesting that I wanted to look into later. Maybe you'd be a jumping off point for me to find that out.
I would love to pick your brain at some point on some of the finer details of what I read in here. I'm sure we can come to that at some point. Going to make a roll real quick, a hidden roll. Let's see. I gotta pull up my your dice here, not mine. Let's see. As he's running his finger down, talking, the book, the cover slightly ripples under his finger as he's. It's almost like his finger's leaving a path on the book as he rubs his finger on it.
Okay.
Almost like a small rock or an insect dropped on the water.
That's interesting. It didn't do that when I touched it.
No, it did not. And this was with Sense the Unseen, of course.
Okay.
Well, I thank you. It's going to be quite interesting, but I'm sure we'll talk again because I do, favor for a favor. I may have to pick your brain a bit about some of the stuff I find, because obviously you've uncovered a rumor or a ritual in here, and I will, while I can't use it, if I come across anything else, I'd value your input.
Oh, so certainly we can have a conversation about that. You know where to find me.
Well, of course. And if you need to find me, you can ask, well, I'm not going to tell you where I am most of the times, but I'm sure if you ask anyone in the court, they can make sure I get a message.
Understood. And I will do that.
I seem to spend most of my time back and forth with them anyway. It's what kept me busy. Have you heard anything about this Lupine War?
Not really.
I'm sure you heard of we lost one.
I heard, but it's been tangential to my coterie. We haven't really.
Yeah. It's odd that we've only lost one so far.
Well, so far. I'm sure there's potential for much worse things, but so far we've made out okay.
That's what's keeping me busy. The potential.
Mm-hmm.
See, and one thing I'm sure you'll agree with me, because of my particular interests, those of the outsiders to the more established clans, of course, they usually get neglected during these kind of wars and left to fend for themselves. So I'm trying to make sure they stay protected during this one. Can't have the reason that I'm there fall apart.
No, of course not. We all need to be useful.
That we do. I'll see you on another night, I'm sure, because I know I'm going to have questions about this book.
Agreed. It's a pleasure doing business with you, Marcel.
Pleasure doing business with you, and I'll have the funds transferred to you. Of course, one of my people will send it in the morning.
All right. Sounds good to me.
I'm assured a bank check will be more than fine enough.
Absolutely.
And he doesn't wrap the book. He doesn't put it in any paper. He just holds it in his hand. And
you sure you want to walk out like that?
I have no worries.
Okay. All right then.
And he walks out with his cane, leaving you to stand there and wonder about why he was so cheerful all of a sudden after getting his fingers on this book.
Mm-hmm. Well, he is thinking, just how much the book told him when he touched it.
It's an interesting thought. Now we flash to the final scene of this particular night. Lamar, you had somebody you wish to meet.
Yes, I will actually have. I will have one of my ghouls call, the Succubus Club or wherever Damien performed.
Baby Chorus as a record label. You can call the actual record label.
Yes, they will call the record label, and indicate that they have a trumpet player who would love to join the band, and he'd like a personal audition with the lead.
And about 30 minutes after you've made that call, your cell phone rings. It's Damien.
Good evening, Damien. This is Lamar Cade.
Hello, Mr. Cade. I'm busy. What do you got? Do you need to see me or something?
I do. I actually want to do you a huge favor, but we need to talk about it in person.
Well, of course. It's about the trumpet player, of course, and
yeah,
you've got a good lead on him. Good. Want to meet at the steakhouse, or you got somewhere else you think is a better idea?
Actually, there's a nice little hole-in-the-wall place that I think you'll enjoy, and I give them the address over on the south side.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm ready to meet whenever you are.
Now, most of these places don't want to let me in, right?
We can meet outside.
Okay, we can do that. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. 30, well, you hear? No, about 45. I'm too far. Traffic's going to be a bitch to get there any faster than that.
Let's make it a cool hour.
That'll work.
I'm looking forward to seeing you.
It better be good. It better be a good trumpet player is all I got to say.
The best. And with that, Lamar will hang up, and he will get ready and head out to the Aces and Eights bar.
Okay. And an hour on the dot. Car pulls up. Damien gets out the back. So, it's not a fancy car. It's, a Ford. Random, like a Tempo. But he still gets out of the back. You see him tap whoever's driving it on the shoulder, and the guy drives off. And he steps out. Of course, again, he looks 15. But there's a swagger in his step and a look in his eye that is not 15. Because his eyes do not appear 15. He's actually wearing his Baby Chorus t-shirt, though, that he likes to wear, advertising his own band.
Good evening. Glad you came.
We'll see. Let's walk.
Let's walk.
Rather than stand here.
Sounds good. And Lamar will turn and lead him down the street.
Interesting you picked South Side. I assume Miss Durand told you what she had told me that night when I came and was waiting at the steakhouse about certain gang activity.
Yes, Miss Durand did inform me of that, and I have a vested interest in South Side and everything, but it's actually not why I called you here tonight.
No.
Just so I understand the rules of our little organization, if someone were to say, get one of the big higher ups mad at them enough to want to take them off the board, everybody's required to honor that, correct? It doesn't matter if you leave one city and go to another.
If I get what you're saying, if certain people in charge have decided that someone has broken the rules enough to be, shall we say, persona non grata anymore, as my sire would put it, that is honored in every city, as long as it's they are one of us. Why, would you happen to be one of these people? Please tell me you are.
I know that would make you so happy if you'd have me right by the short hairs. Stick that long stake of yours right where the sun don't shine.
I would think you were brave to tell me this, and colossally stupid, because of course we would have a very short ending to this discussion. But I assume you're not that stupid. I was hoping.
Sorry to dash your hopes. I'm going to have to give you something else to go with. But I can tell you that there is someone in this city who is persona non grata, And if you were to handle that, I'm absolutely sure that would make you look real good in front of Prince Jackson.
And who is this individual?
Goes by the name of Gino Manatelli. I believe.
I know that name.
I believe Karina Dobson, a friend of ours out in D.C., Washington D.C. Yes, she's declared him persona non grata and fell off the board, but got reason to believe he's here in Chicago, and I'm fairly certain that Prince Jackson wants to keep the whole good relationship with.
She's an important person.
Oh yeah, and DC's an important place.
He broke the Masquerade. He committed destruction.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
In a city that was not his. And of course, let's not forget, he was a Ventru who followed Vitel even after his fall. Let's just say that doesn't endear him, to Prince Jackson. You're saying he's in this town.
I am saying that.
And how do you know this?
I happened to catch a glimpse of him recently.
And where was this?
He was in the. He was and he names the stadium they were at. Saw him during a MMA fight that I was attending. Now, I'm bringing this to you, one, because you're the sheriff. I'm also bringing this to you because despite what you may think, me and my people, we are actually here to get shit done and be on the right side of things. We're trying to fit in here. I want to prove that I and mine are we want to be part of this just as much as you and yours want to believe that we are.
I will admit, you surprised me with this. I would not have expected you to turn in an individual as well connected as this one. I believe I've heard recently that Emperor Vitel has declared himself running Baltimore. But I will tell you, if you see Gino Manatelli again, you are obligated to destroy him.
Oh,
now that we have confirmed that he is under a blood hunt.
And while that's all well and good, I brought this to you as the sheriff because I do not have the right of destruction in this city, and someone like him goes missing, especially a member of Clan Ventru, and they found out Sombra did it. That's I'm nobody, as the story goes.
For your restraint. But now that I have confirmed the blood hunt is valid, when it comes to this individual, everyone has right of destruction. As a matter of fact, everyone has obligation of destruction.
Oh.
Failure to destroy those who are hunted and to otherwise aid or assist in their evasion of justice is punishable by a hunt of their own.
That's what I heard.
I think
you're welcome, but still you're asking me and my coterie to really stick our necks out here.
No, I'm asking if you see him, destroy him. If I see him, I will destroy him. I will be looking, as will Alexa and all of my hounds. But
excellent.
As there is a hunt called the first ones who get him.
And it's just render him to ash, right?
Yes. Well, let's just say nobody asks questions as to how he's gotten. As long as he's gotten, I'm sure there's a number of the thin-blooded in this city who will love to be the ones to find him once word gets around. It is their chance to, shall we say, become real.
All right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I just want you to keep in mind who brought this information to you, and register. Why don't we keep this working relationship open? Because I don't want to get out that I'm the one that gave you this information. I think this is worth a boon between you and I.
Well, that's not for me to say. The question of who it's a boon between will be for Prince Jackson to say. Because you can rest assured I will make sure that he understands where I've gotten this information, especially if we find out anyone in this city has been harboring those with a blood hunt. Now, of course, it wasn't you, because if you were harboring him, why would you tell me? But I am sure somebody knew he was here, somebody who is supposed to be a loyal subject and is not.
Yeah. And I mean, now if I run across any of these supposedly not loyal subjects, should I inform you of them as well?
Yes, because there's no called hunt on them. You can't.
Right. And I don't want to overstep.
Right.
But I do want you to be aware of who might be working with.
Well, once we find out who it is, if it turns out they're assisting, they will have a hunt of their own. You'll find Prince Jackson does not play these games. And this is not a city where we harbor fugitives or allow fugitives to be hidden. It's not a game we play here.
All right, got it.
But I do thank you, and I will grudgingly acknowledge where you have done your part, and you have been a loyal subject of the Camarilla in this case.
Thank you, Sheriff. That's really all I was looking for. Like I said, Clan Sombra wants to be a functioning member of the tower. That's all we're shooting for here.
I'll admit that so far that has been the indication. And you can bet I've tried to find, let's say, reasons why you're pulling a falsehood. But so far, I will admit I haven't. And maybe, well, let's be serious, I'll never trust you. But we can work together on this, and we can agree on certain things.
For the tower.
For the tower, and loyalty will be recognized. You can rest assured of that, and though I don't speak for the prince. As you can tell, the fact that I'm sheriff shows loyalty is recognized.
Absolutely.
Even after what happened to Hardestadt, I am still here.
Well, then we're glad to have you.
I'm going to go now. I've got to go speak with the prince, honestly, because this is something I think he's going to want to get a number of people looking into. Because we haven't heard word yet until you that this individual is here.
Okay. Well.
And that makes two things recently that we haven't heard a word of that we should know about going on in this city.
Well, then I'll leave you to that, and you have a good evening.
You too as well, Lamar.
And he'll walk Damien back to wherever his car is. Well, once his car pulls up.
You see the car come back about 10 minutes later.
And yeah, once the car comes back, he'll watch the car go, and then he will head to his own car.
And you see him hop in the car, and the guy driving, you've seen before. It's actually the night that, well, you were allowed in the Camarilla. It's definitely one of the hounds, because he was there flanking Damien at the time, right before the sacrifice was enacted. And you see him just lean up and talk to the guy, and they drive off.
And then Lamar's going to head to his car. He's going to go ahead and get out of there.
And I think this will be a good spot for the break. Nice break in all the action and all the scenes, because the second half of this episode, I do believe, has a bit of a longer scene planned. So please enjoy the break, and we will see you in 10 minutes.
Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you? Or is it me? Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in the world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within, to you burrow within. Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, beautiful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Is your blood Bathory? I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered, all my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory, blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins,
welcome back. Before the break, we had a series of scenes of the coterie, of course, doing their own things, which Kindred do. That's how this works. But now that we're back from break, it's time for some United Coterie activities. And I believe, as mentioned last episode, this coterie is supposed to get together at the club for a weekly session to hang out and talk a bit. And we're going to cut right to that scene where everyone is already gathered at the club. We don't need to wait for everyone to slowly trickle in. But once everyone arrives, it's a Friday night. The club is open, but of course you're meeting in the conference room. You don't need to be there. Yes.
I need to know from Etienne if Luke accepted the invitation.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He's supposed to meet you there that night.
Okay, perfect.
And for those that, I will let Jackie, when it comes to that part of the scene, surmise what's going on with this one. And everyone is gathered. Now, one question before we cut into this scene. Has Eleanor started to handle Mr. Green?
Yes, she has.
Okay.
We're getting along
that.
famously.
Because normally you have to wait for a blood bond to fully expire. But one thing that happens when a kindred dies is the bond portion snaps immediately. The ghoul takes a little bit longer, so it's been an interesting thing to handle with Mr. Green. And I turn this scene now over to the players.
Oh, good. We're all here. Have a little something we can do this evening instead of hanging out here, watching the kind do their thing.
What you got in mind?
Yeah.
We can go to red number 5.
I've never been there before.
Checking out the competition. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to be meeting with a Luke there.
Okay.
Need to discuss something with him, but it'd be nice to have all of you just there. Just not involved in the discussion, of course, but just enjoying yourselves there and visible.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Before we leave, I need to let everybody know something that's probably going to trickle out through whatever channels you all get your information from. You guys remember you came with me to meet Killian Roche. So among his people was a guy by the name of Gino Manatelli.
Oh yeah,
familiar with him.
Yeah, that guy has a blood hunt out on him.
What?
From the Prince of DC, from what I understand.
Karina?
Oh, so you know her. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
How'd you find this out?
It was some information passed on to me from Sierra, and I wanted everybody to understand kind of the fact that he's got a blood hunt on him. That gets out, everybody in the city is probably gonna.
Oh, it's going to be like a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, so. And everybody's going to be expected to participate if they see him if they catch sight of him, so.
Oh,
be
and
careful.
Killian Roche has been harboring someone under a blood hunt. What was that, 55%?
Yeah, Damien knows. And I would be very careful. Just, you run into him, you see him, call somebody. We see him, we should call somebody, one of us. Make sure we're not going into anything alone. I don't know how well you guys got to know him during the time you were there.
Oh, he's an asshole.
Yeah, well enough to
Likes
know
to use
not
guns.
Yeah.
But I just wanted everybody to know before it got out too far.
Thank you, Lamar.
No problem. So red number 5.
Red number 5.
Same dress code as us, or are they classing it up a little bit?
From what you know, there's no dress code. Everything you've heard, some people dress up, some come in casual. It's more of a place that, well, Kindred don't normally have problems, but Kine, it's more of there's a feel they look for. And rumor has it it's party girls.
It's a very exclusive place as far as kind go. Kindred, I hear, have an easier time getting in. I've even heard that they have it set up so that there are fairly private areas where Kindred could even do business and things like that there. I'm actually thinking of instituting something like that in our club here. We have an entire wing I haven't fully developed yet, and I was contemplating what to do with it, and I think that might be something we could offer as a service.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good. I like it. All right, when do we start?
Let's go ahead and head out now.
So you're all going to ride in Jackie's vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I assume since you're going to be rolling this deep tonight, is it are you dragging a limo or are you dragging an extended back?
We have a limo.
A limo? Okay.
We
Just
have
curious how you're going to fit everybody in.
We have a limo for tonight.
I don't picture 3 people sitting in one, bench seat and the other 2 in the trunk. So, and Etienne's waiting. Ma'am, you going to that place you told me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you. And he begins to set out. Now he's heading towards North Grand and Halstead. It's over by the Milwaukee Bus and Coach Station. It's in the west side. So if you'd like to have any talks on the ride over, but before we go anywhere, please give me the wits awareness roll because you're riding in a car, and you know I like to have that when you ride in a car. Doesn't mean there's anything to see.
Can I use instincts?
Sure. Doesn't mean there's anything to see, but as a storyteller, you got to always have them roll when they're in the car so that when you do make them roll to see if they see something, they're not suddenly suspicious because you made them roll. Wow. So we've got 3 from Eleanor. We've got 1 from Destiny, 4 Lamar, 6 from Jackie.
With a crit.
With a crit, 5 from Roscoe. Very well done. As you're coming out of your domain, you do see that there's a few more homeless this night than what you're used to seeing. They seem to be slowly rolling back in again. That's for Roscoe and Jackie. You don't see them, obviously. They're lurking in some of the alleys, staying more out of sight, but it's obvious they're leaking back in when...
Do we notice any symbols?
No symbols.
Okay.
And none of them are familiar from the last time they were in? Okay.
Not driving in the car, you could always ask Etienne to stop, but... And I'll turn it over to the players if you want to have any talks or discussions on the way there. If not, let me know and we will go straight to arrival.
How long's it been since we talked to the One IK? You guys noticed a few more homeless?
I noticed. I imagine he'll send someone soon.
Well, let's hope that let's hope he's not going to press for anything more than simple information you can give him.
We are not connected.
Yeah,
we give him what we can.
So, you need to speak to a Luke tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And there is another thing I want to ask you for here in the near future, but kind of a private thing, so.
Oh. Okay. We can talk about that later.
Excellent. Meanwhile, hey Roscoe, that book.
Mm-hmm.
You still got it?
No, I was able to negotiate a deal, and it is no longer in my hands. It's gone.
That is probably some of the best news I've heard all week.
Seriously.
You remember? Remember the night that I'd gotten it, and like Marcel showed up at our doorstep?
Yes, I remember that vividly.
Well, he was waiting for me at the shop. When I went up there to put everything away and from the steakhouse, and that's when we hit negotiations. We came out. I didn't make money, but didn't lose any, so I feel pretty good about it.
Roscoe, Please forgive me for being so blunt, but do you sleep there during the day?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank goodness. Ooh.
Let that thing and Portia be someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
I would have let it go for a loss, but we were able to negotiate. I mean, I didn't lose anything, so I'm good with it.
Oh, good. You at least broke even.
Yeah.
Good.
Excellent.
Nothing bad happened?
No, not obviously. We'll find out soon enough, I guess.
I suppose we will. Let's hope not.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Or let's hope it doesn't happen anywhere near any of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Has Jackie noticed the back at her establishment at any point over the course of the past few days?
Which one?
At her cabaret.
Who?
Thea.
Thea? No, she has
Okay.
not come back. Not at all.
Our guest from the other night, Eleanor, has not made a reappearance at the cabaret.
Oh, good. I'm really glad that she's not going to be bothering you, or appears to not be bothering you.
It'll be
Everything
fine.
okay?
We can discuss it later.
All right.
And as you pull up to this place, you can tell you've reached it when you see the line. The line leading from the door stretches down the side of the building, down onto the next block. There's a long line of people waiting in. Most of the people waiting in line are women, dressed in various levels of decor and various levels of dress up. Some are more dressed fancy, some are very casual, some are what I would call club attire to pick up somebody, anybody. But it's a variation of all the three. Now, of course, Etienne pulls right up by the door, where you can, from the vehicle, see two very large African-American males standing on each side of the doors, manning the ropes about who gets to come in or not.
I have roused for a blush of life and succeeded.
Blush of life.
Okay.
Yep, blush of life.
Let's see here. Eleanor did not get hungrier. With a 10, very nice on your rouse check. Oh, Lamar. Lamar, the beast gets a bit hungrier on this one. You know, you were taught better than all of this. If this Ventrue has a problem, if she was smart, she would just eliminate the problem, not negotiate. You need to teach them better. Teach them like I taught you.
He's actually going to consider that. He gets a kind of a pensive, like kind of just a faraway look on his face for a moment.
You were a good student.
Lamar, are you okay?
Yeah, just... I used to live here when I was before all this happened, and it's kind of crazy to me how things have changed. Just I look at places
I'm
like
familiar
this.
with that feeling. At one point, I returned to Paris, and I put my arm in yours and go to walk in.
Now, as you go up to the door, both bouncers over 6 feet tall. Looks like they're pushing about 300 pounds, none of it fat. Now, one of them doesn't really strike you as anything unique, but the one who seems to be in charge of everything, he's got a spiderweb tattoo that starts at the top of his head. It goes all the way down his neck. He's wearing a shirtless or a sleeveless shirt that you can see the spiderweb actually runs down through his chest, down his arm, and you see a spider tattoo perched on his forearm. And he's wearing sunglasses of all damn things.
Does that appear to be a particular, like, gang tattoo?
It's not one you recognize as a gang tattoo, but it is impressive. It's very well done ink.
I look at it, I'm like, that is beautiful.
You see him pull his sunglasses down? Don't see any of you on the VIP list.
I did call ahead. Jacqueline Durond.
1 second. Jacqueline Durond? Yeah. I'll tell him. 1 second.
Thank you.
Stedman's coming out.
Okay, perfect.
And it's not more than a minute or two before I'm going to share this image. So everybody gets to see him as well this time. Let me pull up our images. There he is. Because I love being able to share the images. African-American male, young, close-cropped hair. Very young, actually, kind of surprisingly young, of all things. Looks to be in early 20s. Just over 6 feet tall. He comes out, he's dressed in a nice suit. Very nicely done. You called ahead.
I did, Mr. Stedman.
You can call me Bennett.
Bennett, Jacqueline Durond.
Nice to meet you. Now, wait a minute. I've heard of you. So that tells me who the rest of you are. He looks over at Lamar, and he comes in close to you, and he gives you like a one-armed like pat on the back with a hug. My man. Glad you come here.
Glad to be here.
I was hoping you'd come to visit. This is what I figured would be more your style, because, you know, it's the old West Side R&B and hip-hop stuff. I mean...
Yeah, been thinking about coming over here, just haven't had the time, but glad I decided to make it tonight.
Well, you all are welcome to come on in.
Thank you so much.
It's a busy night. And you see, when he says that, the people in the line, the ones at the front and can see this, oh, why they get special treatment? And you see Bennett look over at the big guy and goes, and he just starts walking over. Might as well leave now. You're not coming in. You don't comment on who the boss lets in. You're leaving. You know, you got to make sure they understand decorum.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Bennett.
No problem. It's nice to meet you all. Now, I'll show you my establishment. And you, as you come into place, as soon as the doors open, you can hear the noise. And there's definitely, right now it's a lot of R&B, but you catch hints of other music. It just seems like the front entrance area you're coming into is where the R&B is. And as you come in, it's kind of hard to hear, but he leans in and goes, now, this is the main, over here is the R&B. But if you go over there, and he points to one of the doors, he goes, we got some techno going in on that floor in that room there. He goes, now, if you go to the right, you can get more of the hip-hop, more current things.
All right.
It's a different feel. He said, now, if you need to talk to people, you just go all the way to the back. There's a lounge, leather couch. It's nice. It's a lot quieter, more sound insulated. Lighting's kept low to talk. That's where our types go to talk. Now, here's the rules while you're in here. Don't cause a scene.
Of course.
No obvious partaking of our customers.
That's fair.
You know,
yeah.
you can be subtle. But if you cause a scene, you won't be back. And be aware if you see Adzi or Azule, just be polite to him. Trust me, you won't be able to miss either one of them.
All right.
Appreciate the advice.
Adze is, let's just say he's the same family as your surrogate sire.
Interesting. And he is able to be here?
Well, you might say he's a fixture around here.
Good to know.
It's funny, too, because you bring that up, and he's actually known, it's rather amusing. He's the other dapper one around here. He always comes here in a full suit. And, you know, he don't always look like himself. Sometimes he doesn't, but you can always tell who he is by his suit, because he wears the same suit every time. And Azule's with him. Those two they're not far apart. Now, everyone here has heard that name before. Azule, you've never met her, but you do know she's a Toreador. And the reason you've heard of her is because rumor mill says that she's in a relationship with Adzi.
Well, if we happen to meet them, I'm sure it will be our honor and pleasure.
They are, I'm trying to remember where I last saw them. I think they're over in the hip-hop room right now.
All right.
That's where they like to go.
Well, I do expect a guest this evening, as I informed you when I called. Has he already arrived, or is he not?
Who's the guest?
Luke.
Yeah, he's in the back lounge.
Perfect.
He's in there waiting, but I'm glad to meet you. I'm the host. I've got to,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, no.
You go
Hey, have a
mingle.
good time.
It's nice to meet you all. And
Pleasure.
he looks over at Lamar. We'll talk later, brother.
All right, man.
And you can tell there's a favoritism already displayed by him. And he wanders off into the crowd. And as he wanders, the crowd, people are constantly, talking with him. And he's obviously popular in his club, well known by the patrons. And so what is the group doing? I know where Jackie's going. What is everyone else planning to do?
Anyone want to dance?
I do.
Always.
Lamar will escort the ladies out to the dance floor.
And I just say, I'll join you later.
Okay, what's Roscoe doing? Is Roscoe going to go dance too and try to get up on there?
Come on, Roscoe, come dance with us.
Sure. Okay. Why not? I'll give it a try.
Okay, so while you all are dancing, we'll come back to your scene in a minute. We'll do the one with Jackie, and then we'll talk about what happens while people were dancing.
As she goes into the lounge, she actually gets a drink from the bar first.
Okay.
And then she takes her drink to where Luke is.
Okay. And what do you order? Anything in particular, or just a drink?
She's going to order a gin and tonic.
Okay, and he's got a lot of bartenders. It's definitely, he's geared this club to make sure people don't wait at the bar long. Because the money's in the turnover, not the individual drink.
And she tips well.
Okay. And then you head back in the back area. Now, when you step into it, as soon as you step through the door, there's a door that opens and closes. It's pushed out. It's not locked. But when you step through there, you can hear the sound difference. It's a lot lower in there, and it's a lot darker. Nice leather couches and leather lounge chairs and a mahogany bar, as a matter of fact, in this part of the club. It's not as many people because there's no music being played. It's just the residual sound from the other room.
Who do I see in the room?
Well, immediately you see a Luke who's leaning against the bar, and he's actually with somebody you don't recognize. It's a woman, but you don't recognize her at all. You'd put her early 20s, blonde, long blonde hair, wearing barely anything. And he seems just to be standing with her, patting her arm as you come in. Now, other than that, I will let you roll intelligence and
Wits?
Wits and awareness, see if you notice anybody that you may recognize. Six. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Yes. Alan Sovereign's actually in the back corner just drinking. Well, he's got a drink in front of him.
He's got a drink in front of him.
Yeah,
he's pretending to drink.
Right. He's sitting in the corner. You don't know if he's waiting on anybody, but he's definitely there. And when you come in, Luke he sees you and he points towards a back booth that's empty.
And I walk there.
And he walks over with this woman. And when he gets over there, please I'll be fine here. Wait for me at the bar. Okay, Tanya? Okay.
And I just smile at her as she leaves.
Got to keep my eyes with me, of course.
Of course.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Jackie. Kind of interesting for you to invite me here. I didn't expect it.
I'm full of surprises, Luke.
Well, yes, but it's a nice place. I don't get here as often as I'd like. I'm normally too busy. It's a very nice place. Stedman's done wonderful things with it. This bar section alone here, this lounge is well done.
It is. It's exceptionally well done.
And do you know that mahogany bar? It is 300 years old.
Is it
it's
really?
An antique.
I will have to take a closer look at it. I do love my antiques.
Oh, I know I don't normally deal in antiques, but beauty is beauty, and you have to
Exactly.
recognize that.
Exactly.
So, I'm curious why you wish to meet me here.
And she takes a sip of her drink. You asked Destiny on a date.
Of course, I'm being social.
Mm-hmm. I've informed her to decline it.
Why would you do that? It's just an innocent little date.
Of course it is a Luke. I know you like them young and malleable.
Are you saying your little friend is young and malleable?
No, I think you think that.
You would be amazed how malleable they are.
I'm certain they are. You think I haven't explored youth? Come now. You know why I would tell her to decline. We both know the game.
Why would you? To be frank, why would you think I have to listen to a word you say?
Well, you do understand the precarious position that you have within this new friendly dynamic we are developing.
I don't have to acknowledge anything.
You don't. And poor Reese will have to suffer.
Let me roll a willpower check on that. Let's see here. You can see he gets visibly angry at that.
Now, that's not my desire. I like to protect those that work for me. Truly.
I told you before, if you harm her.
I would not lay a hand on her, Luke. That's not my style.
Tell you what. You can tell Miss Destiny that I rescind my offer.
Thank you, Luke.
I hope you realize I won't forget this particular conversation, of course.
I hope you realize I won't forget you tried to manipulate the youngest member of my coterie.
Well, all's fair.
Indeed.
We all play our games. Though, from what I understand, your little group of friends has been very good at hiding the fact we play our games. I am not convinced for a minute that you're not playing just like I am. You got a domain in a city where nobody gets domain. And before that, you all were nothings, more than conversation pieces. And then suddenly you find yourself in positions of power, envy. You know, envy among our kind is dangerous.
Oh, are you jealous, darling?
Well, I'd be lying if I say I wasn't.
I'm so sorry. I can tell you, we got domain. It was unbeknownst to us as to why we were receiving domain or why we were put together in a coterie. It was ordered.
Of course you'd say that. But
Check
again,
me. Am I lying? I know you can read people.
You're old enough, I don't know if I could tell.
I'm not lying. I have no reason to.
If I thought I could read you that easy, I would have invited you on a date. Though it is fun sometimes to spar with those who are more skilled. I find that boring.
Oh, I'm so sorry you've been bored in the past. Now, the truth is, we were given a crap location to clean up. We have done so.
You won't convince me you're not playing the game as I am, so do not be upset when I also try what I can.
That's fine. You can
I will
decide
honor
that
your
you can
request.
think more of what we are doing than is true. If your imagination runs away with you, that's not my fault.
Do not harm her.
I don't intend to, Luke, but do not ever try that stunt again.
Remember, I have something you care about in my hand as well.
You think I didn't prepare her for you?
It's not me you worry about, is it? Your child would not last a week under Alexa's full tender mercies. And while I understand it's not the same as what you're doing to me, we both understand that.
We do. And I do want us to be friends,
Well, I'm sure
as you say.
you win this round. Well done.
Thank you.
We'll play again.
Of course we will. We must do something to entertain ourselves, yes?
Well, yes, we will. And, of course, there's always the other part of this, which is the business side, because I do know we do have to talk another night still about art.
Of course we do. I'm very passionate about it.
Of course, as am I. But you win this round.
Very
Can't
well.
blame me for trying.
Oh, I understand. It's in your nature. But it
Well.
is in mine to protect.
It's always been the downfall of those of your lineage.
Do enjoy your evening.
Well, I will. Tanya and I, we don't get to come out here that often, but he leans in closer. It's going to be a fun night. And by the end of it, I'm afraid you won't see Tanya again.
That's such a shame.
Though you might hear of her if you check the news. And he gets a
You
feral grin that
are
you haven't
so
seen.
devious, Luke. So devious. It's
There's
absolutely delicious.
There's a twitch in his eye that is definitely different than what you've seen in the past, like he's barely in control this night.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good night, Jackie.
Have fun, Luke. And I get up, grab my drink, and leave.
And as you're leaving, of course, Alan Sovereign is still sitting there. He's watching the door now, waiting for someone to arrive.
Mm-hmm.
But he notices you, and he kind of just nods at you.
I nod to him in deference.
Yep. And now we flash to the dance floor, where we have Eleanor and Destiny and Lamar and Roscoe dancing away. Now you're in a group in the middle of the dance floor. Please, everyone, give me a real quick wits awareness. I want to see if you notice people. Love the wits awareness game. Damn, Roscoe. What is up with your dice tonight? 5. 4 for Lamar. There's an individual approaching your little group. One that, well, Roscoe and Lamar are the ones who notice him coming, but you all will recognize him. Genghis is heading towards you through the crowd. And you know this because he's tall enough that he's over the heads of a number of people
Right.
as he's coming up through there.
Nod to acknowledge him as he's coming up.
Now he's approaching from your back, Destiny. So you don't see him.
Yeah, I
Though
don't
you
see
saw
him at all.
Roscoe nod.
I just keep dancing.
And you can feel him before you see him, not touching you, but you get this feeling of somebody standing over your shoulder. Most kindred develop that feeling. Somebody's very close to your personal space, but not touching you.
I'm going to, still dancing, get a few feet away and then turn around to see who it was.
Right behind you dancing, mimicking, or trying to mimic your moves, is Genghis.
You're gonna hurt yourself, buddy.
But it'll be fun. How you doing, Fate?
Not my name.
Sorry. How you doing, Destiny?
I don't want to answer that. I
Well,
was doing great.
was. And he looks over. You hear that? Look, I'm just being nice dancing with you folks, and she's getting mean.
I'm not getting mean. Your dancing is making me nauseous, Genghis.
Now, see, that hurts.
Oh, she is a Toreador with high standards.
But that hurts. And he leans in and goes, you might not want to say that so loud on this dance floor. I mean, the music's loud, but I'm not sure it's that loud, buddy.
Well, I wasn't shouting it.
I know, but he's like, but I'm just here as an admirer. I mean, we've got 2 beautiful ladies. Okay, we've got him. He's scary, but I like scary. We're dancing as a group, right?
Only now does Lamar stop dancing and look at Genghis.
And he's wearing, the only way to talk about it is he looks like 90s punk. He's got his leather jacket on, leather pants on. You're pretty sure he was poured into said pants. Spiked collar, nose ring, earring, chain linking the two.
Oh boy.
My man, you lost?
No. I know the lady.
You don't even know my name.
Well, I know it's destiny, but I'll still call you fate. We're fated.
You're fated for something.
Fated to what?
I'm going to make her my wife one day. Just wait and see. I know it's hard to believe. I was even telling Annabelle the other night.
Oh.
I'm sorry, you were telling Annabelle.
Yeah, I saw her at an art gallery opening, and I had to speak with her a few minutes and told her that I was planning to steal a lovely rose out of her garden and make her my wife.
And how did Annabelle react to that?
Oh, about what you'd expect, which was the point of the conversation. You see? It's so much fun trying to break that stick off in her ass.
Oh, so you like to use destiny to make other people upset? I just want to make sure I understand how this is all working here.
I'm not saying that's the plan. It's an advantage. You see, you got to look at all the benefits in it. She's a lovely lady.
She absolutely
She looks
is.
like she knows how to party. I love to party. I'd love to get her down at the mosh pit with us. But if it just so happens to piss off Annabelle, that little stuck-up little bitch, I'll do it. I'm fine with this.
Well,
You of all people should also agree.
The way that you're acting, it makes me feel like Annabelle's really the one that you want, and you're just a jilted lover.
You know, you could say that. Not really. Let's just say that her and I have a long-standing argument.
Well, this rose is already taken. So making her your wife, it's just not going to happen, man. Just not going to happen. Sorry to inform you, but I'm letting you know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This, not this. And you put... So you can take your ass somewhere over there with that bullshit.
Out of respect for Stedman, I will see you another night, Destiny. I'm not gonna
Get dancing lessons before you come see me again, please.
the kind of play dancing I do. This isn't my normal place, but I had some business I had to do. So, I mean, you want to come? I can show you real dancing. Leave him behind. Come see me down in our place, and I'll take you to one of the bars down there.
Or I could just make you famous. I'm a talent agent like that. I'll just make you famous.
I know a movie that referenced that, and if you think you can make me famous that way, you can bring that shit. I've survived a lot longer than you have in this place.
Have
So
you?
You may think you can handle things. We'll see.
You're about
And
to
he suddenly got a lot more serious.
Boys,
keep talking. You're going to run into a 1 seed, buddy. You might want to go, and you might want to go now.
Anytime you want to be froggy, come on down.
Go and leap the lily then.
Jackie knows where to find me.
Is this the way that it feels to have people fighting over you?
Yes.
It's weird. This is weird. I don't like it.
I think him and I have got a different kind of
Genghis.
beef. We'll see each other again. You can bet that.
Bye-bye.
And he turns, and all the joking and laughing is gone from him as he very seriously exit the bar.
Do I cross paths with him as I'm heading in there?
No, you cross paths with somebody else.
Oh, shit.
Kathy
Oh.
comes in and just kind of actually literally bumps into you as she was staring at them dancing,
Well, hello,
but
Kathy.
didn't notice you. And she kind of jumps. Oh. Hey, Jackie.
Hi, Kathy. Feeling a little better tonight?
Yeah. Is he really mad at me?
You did make one hell of an impression, darling.
I know. I was trying to avoid him for a bit, but now he's here, and since I'm here and he's here, I need to go. I'm going to go talk to him. Actually, can you help me out here? First, let me apologize for the way I acted.
I think I have an understanding.
Okay, can just ask him to come over real quick. I'll be nice.
Of course.
To speak with me a second.
Of course.
Thank you.
And she will walk up to the group.
And none of you've seen Kathy because she's not tall enough to be noticed over the crowd. But you see Jackie when she finally gets to you.
And Jackie's tall enough to be noticed. She's about 5'6". But yeah.
Well, that's still, there's
tough, some taller people, but yeah. Well.
Yeah, it's obvious that Lamar's now, he looks a little bit amped up.
Well, Lamar, what happened?
Jackie.
Do we need to go talk?
Not right now. It can wait till later.
Okay. I have something that I think might lift your spirits a little bit.
Oh?
Kathy is here. But she is remorseful for her prior behavior.
So is Nero waiting somewhere in the distance?
No.
From what I just saw, you got a real decision to make here, man.
Thanks, Roscoe. Oh, glad you keeping score here for all of us.
Roscoe, you do know that he wasn't.
Of course.
Okay.
She leans into Lamar and whispers, "The girl is incredibly lonely."
Look, in the interest of civility, I'll go say hello.
I think she wants to apologize.
All right. Civility, I'll go say hello and I'll be right back.
Okay.
And so you head over and Jackie points you the direction and she's standing right by the entrance to the back lounge area. But she doesn't step in, she waits for you. And as you approach, she's actually got kind of a chagrin look on her face. It's kind of, I'm not going to say she looks ashamed, but she does look like she's...
remorseful?
Yeah, a bit remorseful.
Hey, didn't expect to see you around these parts.
And she leans in close because it's a noisy club. Yeah, I'm not following you. I was actually just here. Somewhere different. But I saw you here and it's hard to say this. I'm sorry for the other night.
I was taught a lot differently, but trying to do things differently myself. So, you know what? Water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Let's just keep the. I like that we have kind of a rapport, but I don't think there should be anything more than that, especially with the whole thing going with you and Nero. You guys have something important there, and I'm not trying to get in the middle of that.
I am sorry that I came off as it was explained to me by somebody else, a bitch in heat, which quite upset me. But then I realized they were right.
I wouldn't have said it like that, but given how things seem between you and Nero, I can understand maybe wanting to get out a little bit.
Yeah, it's hard. Maybe we can get together one night and I'll tell you about it.
Maybe. So are you just taking in the club or?
No, I was...
You come here a lot?
I come here every once in a while on the prowl looking for a bite to eat tonight. It's a good place to go.
No, I fully believe you.
I don't like to do it at Succubus Club because we play there, and you don't want to keep running into people that, That's how you get stalkers. Yeah. So, I'll come here some nights. I'll go other places. I've been nice. I haven't hit the jazz bar. But Stedman's known to, him and Damien are close, so.
Oh, okay.
It's a good place. We all know the rules, so.
Yeah, seems like a cool place.
It is. I mean, Stedman's a good guy. He's trying. He's trying to do right. So, got some good music. I mean,
Yeah, there's some stuff here that definitely, if it had been around a few years earlier, I think I would have liked it.
Well, coming on a different night. It changes up some nights. I mean, he kind of likes to rotate in themes. Come in here some nights and you get 80s. Some nights you get 90s. Some of the old rap, still good. Even with the DJ mixing it, and I think they call it a mashup, where he puts it in with some dance tracks. But
okay, yeah, maybe when my schedule clears up, I'll look into that.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'm not going to interrupt your time with your friends, and just tell everybody I was sorry for how I acted, and hopefully we'll run into each other.
I'll pass that along, and yeah, maybe we'll catch each other one of these nights.
And she actually gives you a brief, small little hug.
And Lamar returns it slightly awkwardly, and then
okay. Then she kind of, I'll see you later. She drifts off into the club.
Lamar's going to turn and go back to the group.
Okay. Now, while this was going on, the group, you've seen Bennett a few times. You did catch something else, though. Kevin Jackson is in the club tonight. Because you see him come out of one of the side rooms. It's actually, you can't believe it, but it's he comes out of the techno room with a woman that you have not seen. None of you have. I'm going to share this photo. Dark hair. Long dark hair. She's dressed tonight. I mean, she looks to be in her early 20s. Very slight of build. She's in the jeans and a t-shirt. And her and him come out of the techno room talking rather heads together as they're walking, talking. If you think you can try to suss out, I'm not going to say the content, but whether it's business or personal related, I will let you roll, of course, because there's body language if you wish to know. You can roll to figure that out. So I know some people like to roll that. What would you roll? If you think you've got a good combination, I know intelligence is a good one. Wits is a good one. Insight is always good because that's good for reading body language. That's one of the main ones I can see. Wow, 4 successes for Jackie. Wow. Eleanor got 7 successes. I'm impressed.
Just 4.
7 successes. 4, 5. Okay. It's definitely appears to be something business related. Now, Eleanor with 7 successes. That's impressive. And is it a crit? Yes, it is. It was 7 with a crit. Because it's a critical success, I'm going to let you read a couple of the words they said. This woman mentioned something about blood, and she'll have it. And then they split up, and you see Kevin Jackson heading towards the back room, because you can't miss him. He's a very large man, as she heads towards the door. And you continue dancing. Now, Jackie or Lamar, since you were at the back, as you're going back towards the group, Kevin Jackson kind of walks by you and he stops. And he looks at you.
Lamar will stop.
And he comes over a second. Lamar Arcade, correct?
That's correct. Good evening.
You can call me Kevin or Mr. Jackson here in public if you wish.
All right, Mr. Jackson.
Are you here with your friends?
I am.
Interesting to know.
Just
Tell you what,
right.
get your friends. Tell them come in the back rooms. Me and Alan Sovereign are sitting in the back corner. Have them come back there and talk to us. You too.
All right. Right. A few minutes. You need a few minutes
Sure.
to
No,
get set?
it's fine. Just as soon as you can find them. I don't know where they are in this place. It's a big place.
Yeah, it'll only take me a couple minutes to get them. We'll meet you right
we'll
back
be
there.
back there.
All right. And Lamar will turn slowly and
Okay, and he goes
head over
back
to
into
the
the back room.
he comes
And-
over to the
You know where the girls are because they've been dancing there.
I'm sure that we do have some guys that have approached us at this
you've
point.
had a number of guys that approached you at this point. You've got a crowd, and unfortunately, once Lamar stepped away, the crowd of guys got larger because the obvious predator is no longer dancing.
Yeah.
And though Roscoe is there, 3 women, 1 man. Let's just say
Looks like a party.
no, let's just say the sharks are swimming around thinking the odds looking in their favor. He's only one person. They try to steal the other 2. Though you don't, I'm not going to say, I mean, Jackie, there's a couple blue-eyed ones that catch your eye. If you're looking for a particular flavor, I'm sure you'll find it here. Now, do you allow them to dance up, or do the women try to discourage that? Is poor Roscoe caught in the middle of a
I'll be dancing with one of the blue-eyeds.
okay.
I'm
Destiny?
dancing with Roscoe.
You're Destiny with Roscoe.
Roscoe's safe.
Destiny?
Destiny is trying to death glare people away from her dancing space. She just is here to dance.
They approach you, but then you give them a look that they're like, a couple of them you see like, they get like they're going to get closer to you until you notice them and then they back up. You can tell a number of them are wanting to get real close and personal on the dance floor until you see them and you give them a look. But,
just here to dance, boys.
and I'm not going to.
Actually, Jackie's dancing with 2 of the blue-eyeds.
That's fine. The atmosphere in this place is not exactly a problem for that.
No.
And it's at this point you see Lamar coming back.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Oh, and she'll basically reach and stop the 2 guys that she's dancing with and say, I'm sorry, boys.
Can
Wait.
we get your number?
You know what? Certainly. And she'll take out a card
I'm
for
Tony.
each of them. Tony?
Yeah. And this is Herb.
Herb.
Funny name. There's a story behind it. It's his nickname. We'll tell you. Just give us your number.
You call me and we will set something up.
Yes. And they are definitely inebriated at this point.
Oh, of course they are. And she'll
Okay.
give each a kiss on the cheek and say, thank you for the dance, gentlemen.
And as they're walking off, it's hard to hear it with the music, but you definitely caught the tail end of "We Are In."
Oh, you don't know. What's up, Lamar?
Mr. Jackson and Mr. Sovereign would like to speak to us.
All of us?
All
Fantastic.
of us, like right now.
I saw Sovereign back there. Jesus Christ. Okay,
Just wanted to dance tonight. Really?
let's go. Be on your P's and Q's.
Okay.
And you head back into the back room. Now, for the rest of you who haven't been back there, it's nice. The bar is mahogany. It stands out. The music's not as loud. It's darker. A lot more private. The couches are not just leather couches. They're definitely hand-sewn. Lounge chairs are all big leather plush jobs. This is a very nice back-end lounge. A lot of money was spent. And when you step in the room, of course, in the back corner, you do see Alan Sovereign and Kevin Jackson. They're both sitting on the same side of a rather large table that they've had another table pulled up next to theirs to extend it. And when you come in the room, Sovereign sees you.
Walk back.
Make our way
Anyone
on
else
over.
in the room?
There's a number of people you don't recognize. There is one woman that strikes you as different. We'll put it that way. She's not. She stands out. Black hair, strikingly beautiful, with alabaster skin, high cheekbones. Her hair is in a bob cut. Matter of fact, I will share the image because we like to show the images because somebody has images of everybody. And tonight, her makeup is just like in the picture. Unfortunately, her makeup is not very good tonight. Her makeup smeared, sloppily put on. But gorgeous woman, you think if she actually cleaned up her makeup a bit, she'd be amazing looking. She's got 3 earrings in one ear, 2 in the other. And she's actually just sitting there at one of the tables with a drink in front of her, just kind of playing with the glass a little, like she doesn't know what she's going to do.
Okay, I just make a mental note.
Okay. And when you approach the table, of course, immediately when you get close, Kevin Jackson and Alan Sovereign stand up.
Mr. Jackson, Mr. Sovereign.
Good to see you, Jackie, Eleanor, and this is Kevin Jackson speak. Destiny, Roscoe, and Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to know
Yes.
the people of your city. Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jackie will have a seat.
Lamar
he
will
said-
pull out chairs for the ladies if possible, and then he'll find a place to sit down.
And then the two of them sit down, though Kevin Jackson sits first, and then Sovereign sits afterwards, after you see a barest of a sign from Jackson to sit. Oh, you're not in trouble. Don't worry. That's not why I called you over here. I'm just curious. How are you? How's everything going in my city?
It's a city. It has its ups and downs, but the area that we tend to hang out seems to be calming down.
I've heard you've cleaned up the place in the area. Maybe I should just have you cycle through places around the city and clean them all up. How are the rest of you liking it?
It's not bad.
It's very well.
Been pretty good so far.
Pretty nice. It's not New York.
How's Mr. Cade? How's everyone treating you?
Good so far. I mean, no issues. Just trying to show everyone that I can get along with the rest of the members of the tower.
That's what I'm hearing. Damien was by the other day and told me of Gino. I thank you personally for that tidbit of information, of course.
Just glad I could help the sheriff out.
So, well, I'm glad that, you and him, maybe you can work differences out. I'm quite aware of how he feels about those of your lineage, but he's not in charge. I am, of course. It's my city.
Absolutely.
Had any problems with the lupine yet?
Not a one.
No.
So if you were in my position, how would you handle this?
Is he asking all of us, or?
Well, he just threw it out there. Oh, please speak up. All of you can answer, of course. I just curious. I like to call it feeling out those who, my subjects.
Maybe it just owes to my personal experience, but find them and hit them hard, because they're going to come eventually, sooner rather than later. You strike first, you make them rethink whatever they're doing. Now, I mean, that's probably not the way that a lot of people would handle it, but yeah, if you know how to find them, or at least some of their interest, hit them real hard, make them rethink whatever they're planning. It'll take longer for them to do whatever they're going to do, and that gives you time to fortify the city.
The classic best defense is a good offense.
Yes.
That would be expected from someone of your background.
I'm personally a fan of the unified front.
makes sense. That's the way we normally handle it. And then Alan Sovereign speaks up. Your prince asked all of you a question. Answer his question, please.
I would not presume. I have never been in such a position. I trust to people like Mr. Jackson and Lamar and Jackie to have the right answers.
Like Eleanor said, this is outside the scope of my usual dealings.
Very diplomatic. And how about you, Destiny?
Find out where they are and burn them to a crisp.
Given what I know of your background, that also makes sense. Interesting. Do you think I'm doing a good job with how I'm running this city?
Yeah.
Doing a better job than I would.
Absolutely.
I do.
He gets a grin on his face. I know you wouldn't tell me any different. Dumb kindred don't last long, do they?
Of course not.
Oh, no.
Well, I will admit I had no particular reason to ask you this. I just like to gauge my subjects once in a while, to get a feel for things.
It's an admirable quality in a sovereign type individual.
Well, you would be amazed what you can learn just by asking those around you. It's something a lot of, let's just say those in power don't do.
Indeed.
Might I be so bold as to ask you a question? How do you
And he
feel?
looks over at Alan. Told you. Alan goes, I know. And Kevin goes, go ahead.
How do you feel? How do you feel the situation with the Lupines going?
We lost an envoy from New York. That's a problem. It's one I'm still dealing with, but that's all we've lost. They haven't hit us at all. Now, I'm going to turn that back on you. Why do you think they haven't hit us yet?
Biding their time. So they can hit us where it hurts the most.
She's got a point. Figuring out where to do maximum damage and then get the rest of us scattering like roaches when the lights come on. That would be the best way to pick us off.
You see, last time when they did this, they hit us immediately. In force, all over the place. It was scattered. And they hurt us. But we hurt them back as soon as we realized what was going on. This time they're trying it differently.
False sense of security.
Smart. Very smart. Keep an eye on your location. Let me know if you see anything
Will do.
special.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we had this little talk. I like to do this every once in a while. Ellen and I have business we must attend to tonight. So, we will leave you.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Sovereign.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just have a good night.
You
Yes.
as well. And you see Alan and Peter Jackson, Kevin Jackson, Peter Jackson, totally different person. Kevin Jackson gets up. And, as they start to go out, you see Bennett step in the room and notice him. And Kevin points at you all and then says something to Bennett and then points back at you all, and then the two of them leave. And Bennett actually walks over to you. Drinks are on the house tonight. It's covered.
Ah,
Oh,
What the hell did y'all
Awesome.
say then?
whatever it was must have impressed him.
Yeah. Well, hey. He's got it covered. He just said send him. Well, he said send Alan the bill. So,
Well, thank you.
yeah.
thank you.
Have a good. I'm going back circulating, but wow.
It's been a pleasant evening so far.
Been great
Bennett.
so far.
Thank you
Very
so much
much.
for being a
Thank
I'm glad
gracious
you
host.
like the place. It's a labor of love. Trying to give
It's
back.
Stunning.
And he wanders back out of the room, leaving you all to sit here alone again, other than that woman that you don't recognize. Well, there's a number of people, but the only one that stands out is the one that with the messed up makeup.
I want to take a closer look at the bar, and then if you want, I mean, either you can stay here for longer or we can head back now.
I mean, take your time if you like. Otherwise, I'm ready to go.
Okay. I'm just going to walk up to the bar.
And yeah, it's nice. Hand carved.
And I'm just running my hands along the mahogany.
You can see the mahogany's worn in spots because of age
and use.
But you can tell that all the adornments are hand carved. It's well done. The age shows, but it also shows it's been loved a lot because it's had layers of varnish to keep it protected. And you can see where it's been sanded more than once to get rid of marks on it. Right now, there's not a scratch. It's almost a mirror finish with the shellac that's been put on it to preserve it.
Absolutely beautiful.
And the bartender looks at you looking at drink. Need anything?
I'm good. I've already had my drink for the night. I was just appreciating the bar. It is magnificent.
That's what everyone says. I don't know much about it, but
I love antiques.
But Mr. Stedman likes it, and
yeah,
it's his thing.
You have a lovely evening, and I drop a 50 on the bar.
Well, thank you. And just as smooth as you dropping it, it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And what does the coterie do now? Are you all just planning to go? Okay, and as you're heading out, when you get to the front door, somebody steps in. Well, none of you know who he is, except for Eleanor. He almost bumps into you coming in the building. Going to share this picture. Because this is one that Eleanor definitely knows. She should. And we find his picture right here. There we are. Looks to be 18, 19, 20 years old, swept back, blonde hair, clear blue eyes. Got a clothing is very tidy, sharp, buttoned all the way up to the neck. Well dressed tonight. And he's got a smile on his face when he comes in. Hello. Hey, Eleanor, right?
Hello. How are you tonight?
I'm out socializing. I'm afraid I haven't met your friends. Come on, introduce me now, Eleanor.
Yes, let me introduce you. This is Jacqueline Durond, and this is Masquerade, and this is Roscoe Akers, and this is Destiny Jones. This is Jason Newberry.
Oh, you can call me son. Just call me son. And he actually reaches out and he kisses Jackie's hand. Jacqueline?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. And he grabs Destiny's hand and he lightly kisses. Destiny. Ah, yes, I've heard that name. I hope the city's treating you well.
Of course.
Roscoe, and he shakes your hand he's got a firm grip. And Lamar, right? Yes. And shakes your hand. Well, I didn't expect to see you here. How's everything going, Eleanor?
It's been very well. Our usual hangouts are calming down, and we can get out a little bit more.
It's always nice to get out. I find if you get cooped up too long, it's not very fun. And, then you don't get a feel for what's going on in the city. And, a vibrant life and nightlife is what makes us all enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. But we've had our fun for the evening, and now we must take our departure.
Are you sure? I'd love for you to, you can hang out a bit with me, have a talk.
Perhaps another night.
Yes, another night.
I think I'll take you up on that. I'll be probably in contact, Eleanor.
Oh, of course.
Well, it is nice to meet you all. And he bows. He does a full, bow. Ladies, gentlemen.
It was a pleasure, Mr. Newberry.
Please have a good night. Newberry. And he has a smile and a warming twinkle in his eye, and you have a good night. I definitely will arrange something because I love meeting new people and getting to know them. And he actually proceeds to go into the bar area. And as he's coming through, he's obviously known by a number of people here as they get him. Yes, Jackie.
When she heard the name, she knows the names of the Primogen.
Yes, that is the Primogen of the Malkavian.
And she takes Eleanor's arm. Let's go ahead and head out, darling.
Yes, yes.
And as you're leaving, taking a glance back, you notice Sun is looking at Eleanor as you leave, and the gleam and the smile is not there.
Mm-hmm. And Jackie has her arm in arm.
There's an edge to it. A narrowing of the eyes.
And walks her out.
And one hand is clenched in a fist.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone saw it.
Mm-hmm.
You all kind of got that feeling as you walked out. When you get outside, of course, it doesn't take long before Etienne's right back. There's parking just for even limos at this place. Stedman has not missed a beat on how to make sure that everyone is accommodated here. And as you're walking out, the bouncer at the door.
With the beautiful tattoo?
Mm-hmm. I've been informed you're allowed to come back anytime.
Oh, thank you so much. I do need to know who did your art.
It was an appointment. She's very select.
It's stunning.
The Painted Lady is where I got this particular tattoo done. It's not her normal work, but there was some favor to it.
Still great work. Great work.
You like it? I thought it fit.
Have a lovely night.
You all too. I'm sorry you didn't get to stay longer, but people come and go. You can come back anytime. I've been told by Mr. Stedman.
We'll be back.
Absolutely.
Good. I feel like I didn't quite get enough dancing in.
Oh. You ladies, y'all come back anytime. You'll get all the dancing you want. One of the things Mr. Bennett likes to do is make sure that the ratio of men to women is a proper balance.
Mm-hmm.
We found it keeps people excited about it. And some of the people standing in line, so that's not why we're not getting in, because we're dudes? And he looks at the other guy at the door and says, handle that. And you see him going over telling him to get out of line.
Yourselves.
He's like, you're not coming in tonight. Get out.
And as Etienne's holding open the door, I will escort Eleanor in.
Okay. And I turn the scene back to the players for what I believe is going to be the final scene as you're all in the vehicle riding back. Ma'am, you want me to go back straight to the club, or you want me to drive a bit and then go to the club?
Just go ahead and go straight back to the club.
Yes, ma'am. And Etienne starts driving. And I turn the scene over. Yes, you got a question, Roscoe? Or
No, I was going to.
Okay. I turn it over to the players.
Eleanor? Who was that? It's that Mr. Newberry.
He's a Malkavian Primogen.
Oh.
He's...
He didn't... Although he was all sweetness and light talking to us, I noticed as we were leaving. He wasn't quite that way looking at you as we left.
I noticed that too. Has he threatened you?
No. No, but
I'm very upset about something.
Early in my time in the city, I went to Elysium, as you do, and he was there, and I, perhaps very, very foolishly, tried to read him, since he was so important and one of my clan, and that was a mistake. I cannot describe to you what I saw. Monstrous. And I've known many of our kind, but nothing like... I've never seen anything like that. And I didn't expect him there tonight. I wasn't prepared. And I think he knows. He knows that I know.
Oh, honey.
I'm sorry.
So we keep him away from Eleanor, unless we absolutely have to run into him. And if she does, then we make sure we're with her.
Yes, and be cautious if you're ever around him.
Do you know anything about him? How other than his inside character?
No, nothing except that he often goes and presents a very smiling and sunny demeanor. But underneath is something very different.
Would you like
Damn.
to stay at mine tonight? Or today?
Oh, may I?
Of course. Of course.
Thank you, Jackie. One day I will have a very nice place and I can return the favor.
You're fine, honey. You're fine.
I'm sorry to have otherwise ruined a very fun evening.
You didn't ruin
Yes.
anything. We were ready to go.
That's certainly, in any case, not your fault at all.
It's not your fault.
No, it's not. But one of the downsides losing Jonathan is where people wouldn't have messed with 6 of us. There's 5 of us now. Somebody might feel brave.
That's
like
true. You know.
that jackass Genghis.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
He was bothering Destiny, and I may or may not taken it badly. I didn't make a scene. I didn't put my foot up his ass, but
Lamar handled it
Came real
gracefully,
close.
but Genghis did not. He was
You
a
got
silly man.
mouthy with a brouhaha.
So,
I mean, I am from Clan I'll fuck you up.
I know you are, Lamar. Oh, fucking.
And I mean, really, he started it, accosting Destiny, and I get you had it under
He told
control.
Annabelle that he was going to make me his wife.
Yes, because he flirts with you as horribly as he does. He has absolutely no skill at seduction whatsoever. But he does it because it riles Annabelle. He gives no fucks about you, Destiny.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Riling me up is extensioning of riling Annabelle up.
Exactly.
Basically, to him.
It is. He is
He did roll
such
up on
a
you quite
fucking
indecently.
asshole.
Mhm. He did. Guys, I've been thinking about, us being down the coterie member, since we've pretty much gotten definite confirmation that Jonathan's not coming back. He's gone. There's somebody I know I can call on. Somebody I've known for a long time, a good friend, who might be able to help us out and get our backs.
They'd
You
be
think-
willing to relocate to Chicago?
He might be. I'll call him and talk to him about it.
How can he help?
He's quite the skilled fighter, and he owes me a boon, a life boon to be specific.
Whoa.
So I think I can call on him to help us in this case.
That is so fucking Tremere. It is awesome. You literally have someone who owes you the. Roscoe, you know what? I'm upgrading my thoughts on you at least 6 notches because of that.
Wait
Six
a
notches
second.
out of how many?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Considering you rib him all the time about Kathy, probably pretty fucking low.
Hey,
That's because I held him in high esteem with lots of notches.
no, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
If you think your friend is really gonna, if he'll do that, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
we're in
sure he will
we're in a
be.
position we need the help.
We do. We do.
And he has a set of
Because
skills
we now
that
have fucking Son in there.
Yeah.
Madman from hell.
he has skills that
We
will
got Genghis
backfill
wanting
us
to have a fight
very
with
well.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Jesus.
How say you call him? I mean, you think he'll be here soon enough to make a difference, or
It's a
I
life boon. He'll be here as soon as he can.
I think he will. And I know I'm sure of it. He'll be here right away.
just travel for a lot of us is difficult. So I know that it can be
Oh,
tough
he's-
trying to get that negotiated.
I don't think you'll have any trouble.
Is he cute?
Destiny asking the real questions.
Is he as handsome as you are?
Well, of course not. But
My man.
I just need to know whether all of the lady kindred are going to be all up on
Oh,
him like they
he's-
are all
he's-
over Lamar.
he's going to be covered just as much as Lamar.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no.
I mean,
Whatever.
Make sure you warn him about Kathy on your call to him.
I'll see if I can remember to bring that up.
I feel like Kathy is probably something you shouldn't mention until he gets here. That way he doesn't find a reason to, you know what? I will pay off that life boon as soon as this next century passes.
She's just a harmless, lonely lady.
I mean, her friend may be not entirely harmless, but
Right. But she did want to apologize to everyone else. I decided to just convey that for her rather than make everyone make it awkward. But I was not expecting Kevin Jackson to pull us aside like that. I mean, I was literally walking away from Kathy and he stopped me. So I wasn't trying to spring that on you guys, but that's how it happened.
That was a chance encounter. I mean, if he had reason to talk to us earlier, we would have been summoned. So, but that was strange.
It's interesting that he does that. I
That wasn't some
imagine.
kind of trap.
No. Well, it could have been. If we had said the wrong things, it very
Right.
well could have been. But I have a feeling this wasn't the first time he's done this.
Did you see the woman he was talking to?
I did.
Did you catch anything that they said?
I didn't. I just noticed their body language. It seemed professional.
It was definitely business. I couldn't really hear it. Lips. I think it was, she said blood. I'll have it. It seemed an odd thing to say, but I didn't catch any of the other words.
Storyteller, does that ring any bells in Jackie's head?
A roll. Trying to think of what to put with it because it's a tough one to roll to do. How about we go with intelligence?
Wit?
And no, not on wit. Let's go with something different. Intelligence and investigation.
Okay, can I use my missing persons for that?
Not for this one. No.
Okay, I'm going to rouse for increasing my pool on that.
Okay, and you did not get hungrier.
Nope. And we'll add a +2.
Yep, because you get +2 for this.
And we're going to willpower that.
She has 1 success so far on a lot of dice. 3 successes
3
total.
successes.
You've heard rumors of ways to get blood that is hard to find.
Interesting, Eleanor.
And the only reason you've heard it is Clan Ventru.
Right.
Is that useful?
Possibly. Possibly. I've heard some rumors about stuff. So, maybe this woman has something to do with it. Shame we couldn't catch a name or anything.
Yes, I'm afraid it was just they were moving and people and
No, you're fine. You did great. You did great. Smart individuals don't do that. Don't say names. So.
that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
And as you arrive at the club, it's much later than it was when you left.
Mm-hmm.
Etienne's like, you all staying here? Do I need to wait out front? Do I pull in the garage? What do you need me to do, ma'am?
Eleanor and I will be returning to my home.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Destiny, do you need me to get you an Uber real quick?
I've got my phone. I'll get it myself.
Yes, ma'am. And I assume the gentlemen will be taking their vehicles.
Yep. Time to hit that old dusty trail again.
And Etienne gets out and opens the door to let Roscoe and Lamar out and Destiny. And then he closes the door and gets back. I'll drive to the Haven, ma'am.
Thank you.
Does anyone need one final scene before we end the episode?
Lamar will actually look at Destiny before he turns to go. You good?
Good with what?
Just making sure the whole what's his face thing.
Oh, Genghis?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Are you actually concerned?
Well, yeah, you're part of my coterie. We've already lost one person. I'm trying not to lose anyone else.
Interesting.
Well, have a good night then.
You too, Lamar. Sleep well.
So Lamar and Destiny go off. Roscoe, I assume you're heading to your Haven, not your bookstore.
That's right. Yeah.
Jackie and Eleanor, are you planning to have a talk in the limo, or are we ending this episode?
Eleanor, is there anything you'd like to discuss?
I could use your advice. I feel like there are many things looking at me, and I don't know what to do about all of them.
Of course. What is it?
Well, between more or less running into Thea and then Sun today, and everything that's been going on before that, I feel... Do you ever have a feeling where you are like more yourself, but also less yourself?
Sometimes, yes.
I begin to feel that.
Oh, honey. I'm so sorry. I can't give you a solution to this.
No, of course not.
You've unfortunately pissed off some people in this city.
Yes, and I suppose what makes it difficult now is in the past, I usually disappear.
Yeah.
And I cannot do that this time.
We are rather stuck, aren't we?
Yes. And it does feel like before Katrina and before the wars, long ago, there is that feeling about it. Beyond, I think, just the board that we have seen, I have seen and told you of, and all that.
That feeling of impending doom.
Yes.
She reaches out and takes your hand.
I take your hand.
We will survive it together. We have survived all the past.
Yes. Yes, of course.
And this, I think, is a good spot to end the episode with a very touching exit. And of course, I would like to thank the players and the viewers. Viewer XP. Here we go with the Viewer XP. The Viewer XP this week goes to, drum roll please. No drum roll? Okay. The Viewer XP goes to everybody. I will give everybody one because the last episode was a whole coterie thing, especially as storyteller. I personally enjoyed how when Lamar killed this individual, you saw the kindred side come out of every player at this table as they dispassionately watched him die because kinder food. And there was a proper lack of caring about what was dealt with this individual. So, of course, everyone will get 2 XP for this one. Now, if you're a viewer right now, please go to the Discord, vote on who gets the viewer vote for this week. As you can see, you can vote for one person, multiple people, whatever. And I take it under advisement to decide whether we give one or everybody, because this is an XP-starved game and all the players at this table want lots of XP because there's never enough XP. So you know, this is episode 9. Season finale next week. You do not want to miss this. This is setting the stage for a hell of a season finale, I think. And of course, if you like what we're doing, follow on YouTube or on Twitch right here. Subscribe on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell your friends. Please tell your friends. It's a great show. We put on, a great game. Got an amazing cast of players. The storyteller's okay, but the players are great. So check that out. Bits and donations, of course, they go to the players, not to Relin and I, because that's a way to give back to the players to show that you appreciate what they're doing. You want to check out some good friends over here? If you want to get on the Discord to vote, look right over here, Discord on the vote. And so we don't just vote on the Discord. We've got a great community, and we cast our shows from the Discord. So if you're on the Discord, that means you have a chance to be cast in one of our shows. You could play with us because we like playing with different people. And we've got a vote right now going up and people discussing what I'm going to run next. Might get a chance to play in that. One way or other, it's going to be dark because that's what I do. You want to check out our Windy City merchandise? Next episode is season finale, which means this is your last chance to get season 1 and 2 merchandise. After this, we're going to have season 3 merch, which will reflect the new
we're adding a member of the coterie.
Yep. We're going to add a new member of the coterie, so you get to see somebody else new to fill in that one little blank spot that triggers my OCD every week.
This way.
Yep. And now I'm going to turn it over to my wife because she has the schedule and I don't, because I don't know what we're doing.
Yep. So thank you all so much for joining us. Do go join us in Discord and vote for the character or player that you believe deserves viewer XP this week. If you cannot make a decision, as Shanky said, you can vote for everyone or multiple if you wish. We just want the viewers engaged and participating. So do join us on Discord and give your votes for who you think needs XP. Today is the 18th, so we have tomorrow, we are hosting Tamshu over at Onyx Path, running his Weird West Chronicles of Darkness, Dark Eras 2 campaign. It's set in Arizona with like aliens and stuff. It's craziness going on over there. That's at 8 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Daylight Time. And then on Tuesday, we have Tamshu back here on McStabber Studios with the Haunted Chronicles Black Death Chronicle. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Mandy over here, Lifesaver, is in that. And it's timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly, weird shit constantly, and it's awesome.
And she still doesn't know whether they're out of China yet because there was a cancellation. And there was a family emergency.
Yeah, there was a family emergency, and so things got delayed. And so now I don't know what's going on, but we'll figure it out as it streams. And then the rest of the week, we are actually not having any streams on our schedule that I know of until Sunday. So Sunday, we will be back with the season 2 finale of Windy City After Dark. That is episode 10 at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 25th of April.
Yes, because Ishvel is done.
Ishvel is done.
Is a break for the cast and the players so that Tisk can get ready for Call of Cthulhu for some cock.
Yep, Call of Cthulhu is going to be the second Saturday in May starting. On the first Saturday in May, we have our Blades in the Dark recurring serial that we are doing.
And you'll see some familiar people in that one. We got Plague Winds, who plays Duncan McTavish during the first intermission. We've got Ebon Blade,
who plays Joe
Kerr, who was mentioned this episode. We've got the Ivy Raven, who plays Abigail Raw. And we got, of course, Berlin, and then the amazing Tiss.
Yep.
So it's a great
heist game.
It's a great one. We're coming up on the break in the channel with Ishvel's off and everything else. Don't worry, we have some Windy City content after the season finale that we've got planned. That's going to be good. Trust me.
And Shanky at some point needs to run another Stories of Windy City.
I do plan to run one at some point. And this one is not going to be for newbies only, I'm going to run one that allows more experienced players for the next side part, set in the same universe, canon to the rest of the game, but set in Windy City. So keep an eye out that. If you're on the Discord, you'll get to apply for it.
Yep.
Who knows? You might get to play with some of the cast members. Don't know. Don't know who's going to be in that one until we get to it. And in the words of Chops, please, mental health is no joke, no laughing matter. We've had several incidents here lately with members of our extended family at the McStabber Studio community that proves that everyone is not okay right now, that you need to check in on friends and family and make sure they're okay, please. Don't assume it, because it's too late if something bad happens. And if you are somebody who has a mental health issue like myself, please, if you need help, get help. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to anybody, professional, not professional, friends, whatever you have to do, talk to somebody, please, because we can't bear it alone. We don't have to bear it alone, and that's what other people are here for. So we take that very seriously in this community, and you need to do self-care. And from the cast of this amazing game and McStabber Studios as a whole, we thank you. And good night, everybody.
Night.
Night, everybody.